Welcome to Rich Conversations. This is Rich's therapy session, number 1. We're on the farm right now. It's about 2 weeks, 15 days since getting robbed and assaulted by 3 gunmen. And today is like the first day, really like the second full day of this time that I've just been able to just like step back and think. Smoking a cigar right now, by the way. And so during this time, I've interacted with a lot of people. I've worked at the restaurant. I've gone to a couple 4th of July parties. I rode a tractor in the town parade. Talked to a lot of people. And, something that comes up is like, are you going to see somebody? Are you going to talk to somebody, right? Because I imagine for traumatic episodes in life, a lot of people find that helpful. I thought, why don't we just kind of do it here? To be honest, I don't feel like I need to seek therapy. Physically, I'm fine. Psychologically, I do notice things. So almost like a day after it happened. So you're on your way to the movie theater, right? And an SUV pulls up at a stop sign. Doors fly open. 3 guys run at you with guns. These are Uzi guns. I asked my friend, and he said it was an Uzi gun. I described it. And described them. And it's something you can't unsee or unexperience. And so I am paranoid, like walking around the city a bit, at least right now. I'm not going to wear my headphones in public. Although I got some like AirPods. This is a whole other story, but I'm like testing the audio to see if I can sync up. Like right now when we're recording this, I have a separate mic and a camera. I was hoping that the AirPods would connect, would like sync, so that I could get and use the microphone, right? But it doesn't work that way. I'm ahead of Apple. And there's some psychological stuff. So like I worked like pretty much the next day, right? And during this shift, so someone didn't show up because they said they didn't see the schedule in time. Which, to be fair, I think the schedule could come out a little earlier and you could prevent this issue. Proactiveness. And 3 things happened during this shift. There's just a lot going on. And I remember one time I was with like customers. So I'm talking to this one person at the bar, and then someone interrupts us. And so I start talking to him saying, hey, you're interrupting me over here. But then this guy interrupts us over here, and I'm just like, I ignore both of them. I go downstairs to the cooler and I punch a box of lemons. Another time, I'm basically having to do like two jobs at once, along with stuff that's going on in my head that's happened the last like 24, 36 hours. So we have a lot of these beer signs lying around, and there's this like circle hinterland one, like really thin, you know, it's just metal. And I was in the basement, I just flung it across the room, and it sliced the drywall. There's this nice slice in the drywall. Never done that before. And then another time, again, I'm doing like multiple jobs at once. So I take the most ambitious stack of dirty plates, you know, walking around collecting them from customers. And we're slammed, right? I go in the kitchen, and one small plate drops and it breaks. And my friend Felipe teases me. And we tease each other all the time, but this time I just went off. And I am just not at him, not at the kitchen, but just like in general, just letting off some steam. All three of those things have never happened once when I've been working. But going back earlier, the reason why I'm doing this, I don't feel like, I know it's helpful for people and it helps people digest moments in life and help them improve. I don't think I need to, because I do it every single day. And I think that's what people don't. Something that's been on my mind a lot, even before this happened, it's how like nobody knows who I actually am. And it's because I don't open up. I have a very hard time opening up in a way. You know, I grew up on the farm, right? I grew up in the Midwest, United States of America, and we just do our thing. You don't need to talk, you don't need to just do your job. Just live your life. And I live my life with excellence. I had a near-death experience 4 years ago where I jumped from a burning tractor. This is 2018. And from that event, it was like life is very fragile and it could go at any moment. I want to live my life the best I can. And at this point, I didn't know how, and I didn't exactly know what that meant. So I just started reading books and just exploring my curiosity. And I signed up for a membership at the Art Institute. This was actually before the accident, but then I went for the first time since I signed up, and then the art just it's like, this is a museum of ideas. It's not like bougie, pretentious stuff that us country boys would think of. And it inspired me. I got inspired by so many different ways: conversations and books and art and people and nature. And I have, over the last 4 years, developed my own philosophy that I live by, and it is of excellence. So every day, every morning, I objectively look at my life and ask myself, how can I be better? How can I get better? What happened? What can I do? How can I improve? And it's like, what do I need to do today to eventually get to where I want to go? What steps do I need to take today? And then every Thursday, I basically have these ideation sessions. It's typically on a Thursday, where I have this 8-foot whiteboard in my apartment, in my Chicago high-rise apartment. And I basically just critique my week and myself things that have gone well, things I can do better, things coming up, and then it allows this exploration, and it's an opportunity to appreciate and be grateful for where we are and just the life that we have. We are actively living our dreams, and it's from all the steps I take and the habits I've built every single day for 4 years. Like I said, excellence. And I think therapy is a good thing for people who haven't done that. It's like I studied communication psychology, but I know who I am because I take the time every single day to meditate, to journal, to write, to think about my life. Instead of watching Netflix, instead of filling my time with all these other things, I actively think about how I can make my life better and then take actions to do that. I think oftentimes with therapy, people just want someone to listen to them. With a particular situation, or I'm not exactly sure, but it's the actions that you take following that are super important. And through this, I'm very, I can be very objective about my life and the things I need to improve on. So I mentioned, I probably need to open up a little bit more. And this leads into, and by not doing it, it leads into other issues, right? It's why I'm single, because I have a hard time opening up to women. Because I also am very independent, and I know what I'm going for in life. It's I need someone who can keep up with my mind. And it's hard to find women like that. But I don't have a hard time meeting women or anybody. The problem is that there's too big of a selection. It's if I sit somewhere in public, within 20 minutes, a single man or woman will sit down next to me. And then I have a choice of whether or not to engage with that person. But I'm finding too, through this, it's I don't have someone to talk to. So it's all in my head, in a way. That'd be nice. I'm finding that in life right now, that would be a great thing. To have a partner and to work as a team, and you go through something like this and you can talk to that individual. Whereas right now, I'm just talking to you guys. For better or for worse. And, and I see my friends having children and marriage, and I do want a family. Life is all about decision making. And for the most part, I make great decisions. So now when something like this happens, I'm finally at a point where physically I'm fine, and I've told the people that I need to tell. Then I did a social media post. Then you got all these messages, right? This is where I have the issues. I just live my life, and I live it very excellent. But I also I was finding this before getting assaulted, is that I do need to open up more. on social media and all this stuff. I don't know, I guess share my life, I guess. I guess the dilemma is like, I don't at all believe I need to like share my life for like validation or anything like that. I'm quite content, but I don't know, maybe it can help other people. Like, do you guys know that when I was 22, I voluntarily lived homeless in Chicago for 4 months to better understand the subject and who it affects. So the first month, I slept in parks, bushes. When it was forecasted to rain, I would sneak into buildings and churches. Then I entered a shelter program, and it was headquartered in Uptown. Ironically, where I live now, the neighborhood was quite different back then. In this alleyway, known as Blood Alley, for all the murders and drug activities back in the day. But there was this like homeless community and resources, but they didn't have overnight housing for single men and women, so they had contracts with overnight shelters in the city. And so I went to the west side of Chicago, East Garfield Park, every night for 2 months. And that's what my first book is about, Homeless But Human, is about that, the time in that shelter in particular, and the people I met and the stories and our experiences. But I haven't really shared it. And this is, I guess, something about me is like, and this is what I'm experiencing now too. There's a lot of parallels between the near-death experience of 4 years ago and also living homeless back when I was 22. And I think what I have most troubles with right now with what's going on is how lonely I do feel, as far as nobody knows what I know. I've lived homeless. I understand the interconnectedness, the grayness of life. What frustrates me so much is how everybody thinks, or they're being told, that the world is black and white. It's this or that team or that team. Have this view or that view, right? Live this way or that way. And that's not what life is at all. Life is all gray. And what you have to do is develop the cognitive ability to navigate the grayness of it. It is not simple. It is not black and white. You learn that living homeless. And I had this conversation. So I was sitting with two friends after I got off the bar. So we're having a couple drinks. I was drinking a Cabernet. Fred Sammy's drinking a Dewar's. And like, they said something that I never had considered. They confronted me. This is before this recent assault. They confronted me on me not sharing my experience living homeless more. And I said, I wrote the book. People can read the book. And he's like, no, you don't even promote it. You don't even do. You you don't like talk about it all. You don't like, you're just sitting on all this like wisdom and knowledge. It's your ego. And I'm like, what? Because everything I do on a daily basis is to like reduce my ego and to live egoless in the world where I'm just a part of the universe and just one interdependent component of all of this. And I was shocked. And then my other friend confirmed it. He's like, yeah, that's ego. I'm like, what? Because I didn't choose to live homeless to like talk about it. I lived it because I was genuinely curious about the subject and the community and the people and what it was like and what is going through an individual's mind experiencing homelessness. It was never my intention to start an organization about it or like be like a homeless expert and like none of that stuff, or even write a book. I think one of the reasons I wrote a book was that I could just like move on from it. And so like if people wanted to know about it, it's there. It's there if you want it. And I'm experiencing that right now with this event. Like over the last 2 weeks, I've had to tell so many people. I had to tell the story all the time. I gotta constantly tell this story. So I'm walking down the street, a couple blocks from the movie theater, I'm going to see Jurassic World for the second time so that when I talk to NASA's Kat Kennedy tomorrow in our podcast and we're talking about Jurassic World, I'll be more prepped, right? Then at a stop sign, SUV pulls up, doors fly open, 3 guys run at me with Uzi guns, demanding everything I had. I gotta tell that story over and over again. But I've moved on already. It happened. I'm okay now, physically. And I can only use it as a learning opportunity to get better. And if and when this happens again, I'll be better prepared. So I'm going to prepare now. And I'm going to create better systems and processes. I've been telling everybody, like, I've been working really hard this summer on my systems and processes of everything I'm doing, backing stuff up, like being organized. Because I'm not exactly an organized person. But I found that to be a weakness of mine that's preventing me from the results that I want. So I've been practicing. And they held up. Like I passed the test, but we could do better. So now with this experience, I'm going to get better and better. But it's like, it's the same thing with like the homeless experience. I learned from it. And then I applied what I learned into my life moving forward. And that's what I intend to do with this experience. I don't want this experience again. I never wanted this experience. But it's happening. It happened to me. And it's happening to others all the time. And that makes me really mad. I'm furious right now. But I have to, now that I've, now, one of the reasons why I still wanted to do the recording was so that I can just share the link with people. I don't have to tell the story from start to finish again. So I guess there's this, I don't know, I guess I have to share more so that it can help others rather than just helping myself live a better life, I guess. I mean, like, you talk about an experience. Live on the streets for 4 months, and you'll learn more than 4 years in college. You learn a lot. And there's something like I tell people about that too. Something that really stands out is how in the shelter, like, all I had was a backpack full of stuff. You know, it's like, this is my toothbrush. This is my bar of soap. This is my pen and notebook and my 3 t-shirts and 3 boxers and 3 pairs of socks and like those are your prized possessions. But that's all you need. You only need what you need. And so we're in this place or situation where nobody has anything, or some have a little bit more than others, and like, but we're all in the same spot, and the clothes we wore didn't matter, how our hair looked, or like facial hair. Like, I had a big beard at the time. Race, religion, like money, it didn't really matter. And like my whole life leading up to this, like 22 years, you're always being told or taught that character is most important. How you treat others. But until this time, this moment in the shelter, I hadn't truly experienced it. And since living homeless, I have not experienced it yet either. In the shelter, the only thing that mattered was your character, how you treated others. If you treat someone with respect, they'll show you respect, right? So I'm in a shelter. It's an overnight shelter on the west side. Guys are just getting out of prison. They have nowhere else to go. You got, former gangbangers and like just a wild crowd. And, character. And I guess what I'm trying to say is that I should open up more. Of my life to others. Because maybe it's not for me, maybe it is for others. Maybe people can learn from my experiences in life and how I approach life. In the last 4 years, I've developed quantum level abilities. It's unreal. It's like I can walk out of my apartment, go on the street, and I see 1,000 things at once. Except maybe an SUV that pulls up and doors fly open and 3 guys with Uzi guns come at you. Fucking A. I was doing an audio recording at the time. And so I've just been like, I don't know. I just have this phone. I have this microphone. I'm borrowing this iPad right now. I'm processing it and then figuring out a game plan moving forward. So I'm reading Bill Belichick's biography to get better organized, detailed oriented, and just execute, come up with a game plan, a strategy, and execute. The players he loves most, have the following characteristics: toughness, intelligence, work ethic, versatility, and self-sacrifice. And I possess all those characteristics. I'm constantly learning every single day. And I think what frustrates me most about what has happened and what will continue to happen, and even like yesterday, it was the 4th of July, and then I guess there's I don't follow national news, I guess, but like my cousin showed me that a gunman shot people at a parade in Highland Park in Illinois, right? It just seems so obvious of like why these things are happening. And people are saying, I can't believe this happened. What do you mean you can't believe it happened? It's happening every single day. And the correlation is the internet. Now, I'm not someone who's anti-internet, anti-technology. I'm very techno-optimist. But people are using it wrong. And people are leading with their egos and attaching their self-worth to all these external things. And it's just full of confirmation and selection bias. So you get these like extremist perspective and views, and it affects policies to where like cities in America over the last 2 years have become dramatically more dangerous because of like defund the police like measures and initiatives, and it doesn't work. Like extreme far right, far left, neither of them work. And these people, if you observe, all right, if you observe, this is what I've been doing the last 4 years. I don't really talk, I just observe. And if you observe the habits and behaviors of people that fit into these categories, there's a lot of insecurity, poor habits. People are a product of their environments. And people are finding resources on the internet to embolden them and their own perspectives and opinions, and they're not being open or empathetic to other people. We're all here in the world right now. We all got here because of all the generations before us and the decisions that they made. You can be like, it just is what it is, and we have to get along and create a better tomorrow. So that's what I intend to do, is channel the experience, learn from it, move forward, and try to be more open with my life and my approach and my philosophy, and live an even greater life. So let's do that. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Have a fantastic day.